ain't fucking.
Hello and welcome to the regular Sunday edition of Spurs Diehards TTID, Tottenham Till I Die. Tonight, we've got another, difficult show to do as we suffered a heavy defeat at the hands of a very good team today. But we'll get into that shortly. First, I'll introduce our guest. We've got Mod Ben on with us. How are you, Mod? The Mod Master?
I'm frozen.
I'm frozen.
Cold. And after this show is over, I'm going to give myself a nice hot bath.
Right, okay.
I am frozen.
Yeah, yeah. Mark, and how are you?
Well, at least they left it till 6:30 tonight to ruin my weekend.
Less of it to go. And don't forget, Christmas starts Christmas Eve Tuesday, right? And we got a show Tuesday. For those who are hitting here, we've got a show Tuesday. Have we got anyone in the chat yet, Mark? We're all busy with the festivities.
I think they're all drunk. There's no one at the moment.
We've got 4 viewers though at the moment. Right, okay. I'll start Ben. This was the team, the starting lineup. Ben, was you happy with it when you see it?
Wasn't really surprised, really. They did quite well against Manchester United, so yeah, play them again. See if they can get another tune out of them. Yeah, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised by the team selection.
No.
Yeah. The only thing, I was just wondering whether like Spence would play instead of your doggy. That was about it, I suppose, wasn't it, really? I mean, we're not down to the bare bones. We're down to the bone marrow, aren't we? So, I mean, like, Mark, same for you?
It is what it is, mate, isn't it?
Okay.
No, I mean, there's literally no one else to put in there, really. I mean, your doggy could have slipped in there, but, other than that.
You could have put Bergvall on, I suppose, and whatever.
I suppose, yeah. But it was never going to happen, was it? Especially against that.
No, and I think it didn't risk doggy. And at this stage of the season, I know it's a heavy defeat, but I'm glad he didn't. If there's any slight knock on him, let him get fit,
Yeah.
I agree. Ben, up to the 23 minutes, it was Zilza. What did you make of the game? We'll cover the goals afterwards, in between, and the game in between each goal, right? But up to the 23-minute mark, how did you see the game?
I saw a team that was far superior to us in every way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what process of a rebuild they're in, or whatever excuse we can give ourselves. We saw a team that was tactically better, functionally better, much more passionate than us, more controlled. We saw a team that was really could have been up 2-3-0 up in the first 15 minutes, but they just weren't hitting the target. Liverpool battered us today in every way, shape, or form. And we'll get to the goals eventually, the way you boys do this show. But you could see early on it was going to be a long, long night, and it certainly was.
Yeah.
Mark, your take on the first 23 minutes?
Just say to Graham quickly. I'm not sure how many points he is at the top of the online league now, but I've had a disaster. No, I think I got Liverpool. No, I didn't get Liverpool result spot on, but no, I did get a point for that. But I've had hardly any points this week, Graham. So you're probably about 50 points ahead now. Right. First 20. Well, it's like Ben said. You could tell Liverpool are class above us, and you've got to remember when we beat them 4-1 at Wembley.
Yeah.
And they went out and bought Van Dijk and a couple others they bought. you know, that was a turning point for them. And the sort of, you know, well, could we have been where Liverpool is now? Yes, definitely. Whose fault is it? We won't go into that, but it's behind me.
Yeah. My take, like, I'm looking at it and I was just thinking, like, even when we had the ball in the first 23 minutes, we were so slow on it. We didn't see no urgency or zip to get it forward at any pace or whatever. When Liverpool broke, they had runners everywhere. And we didn't have the runners and that, and as if we didn't know what to do. I mean, we're missing Romero because he progresses us from the back. You know, whether you like the player or not, I know he can be Marmite to Spurs fan base as well, but at least he progresses us forward. You know, I mean, like, and Dragonson's not the world's greatest passer, is he? So he's not going to do it. Gray's pretty solid to me, looked pretty good. But we'll come up to that's my opinion, and I just thought Liverpool started much brighter than us. They wanted it more than us. They had more energy than us. I just thought we looked lethargic and leggy.
Yeah.
Just say hello to Nita quickly.
Hello, Nita.
Good evening, regular.
Greetings to you all in the viewers as well.
Yeah. Well, I would say Merry Christmas, but you know, it's Tottenham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are three. You done all the comments, Mark?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. First goal, Ben. 23 minutes. So we held out for 23 minutes.
Yeah.
Diaz gets 3 behind Dragusin and scores, and that was the header. And I was thinking, how did that happen?
It's what we've all said. They were just so much better than us. It was not if it was coming, it was when it was coming. And they schooled us. No one could do anything. It was a quality goal. Every single one of their goals was quality. It was they were if I was a neutral, which I'm not, unfortunately, I'm a Tottenham fan, which a few people in the community might not think I'm a Tottenham fan, but I am a Tottenham fan. They were a joy to watch. If you were a neutral, they were a joy. The way they put past the football, they are brilliant. And he got behind. We don't know how to. It's really apt. This is the game before Christmas, because just like Santa Claus, which I don't believe in, I don't think this team believes about defending. We just don't know how to defend. We don't care about defending. There's no pride in defending, and not a single one of the players cares. Cody Gakpo was heavily involved with this move, if I can remember. I need to watch it back again. I've only watched it back for a skim read. They just shredded us. They shredded us like a nice bit of cheddar to put on some Welsh rarebit.
I believe it was it Trent that put the ball in? And what a cross it! Well, whoever put the ball in, what a cross! If only our wingers could do that, you know. And see, I've had the benefit of sitting here watching it on Sky, and so I seen what the Sky people had to say about it, and it was Sarr's fault because he let Diaz run from outside the box. Dragusin had a man, Archie Gray had a man, probably Salah and somebody, whoever was in the middle for Liverpool. And Diaz was like just to run in on his own, because you noticed the header, he was stood there on his own. And
he's one of the shortest players on the pitch as well, isn't he? He's one of the shortest players on the pitch.
And it was Sarr. It was Sarr. He never ran back with him. He it's like Ben said, we got no interest in defending whatsoever. Or well, we probably have, but let's just say we haven't got a coach that knows how to defend.
Was the goal preventable though, Ben?
Yes.
I mean,
every goal that we concede is preventable.
I mean, for me, in case
that's so annoying, Adrian. That's so annoying. We don't concede like different start. We always score the same type of goal. Ball over the fullback. We concede the same type of goal every single time. And it's just easy to play against us. It's easy. Yeah. It's easier than getting out a pot noodle and putting some boiling water in it. That's how easy it is. It's routine. Every single goal we concede, we can avoid, but we just don't defend.
If Sarr had followed Diaz back, if Sarr had followed Diaz in, then would he have stopped him? Who knows? Okay. But at least he would have been there to make a challenge on him. You know, but to be honest, it was that. I'm sure it was Trent that put the ball in. But it was a hell of a ball. But if Sarr had done his job and tracked him back, gone with his man, then he would have been with him. And it's like Ben said, Diaz is like one of the smaller players on the pitch. Would Sarr have got his head on it? Probably. And so Sarr was in fault for the first goal because he never tracked his man. You know, it's like I said, Archie Gray had one and Dragusin had one. And so they were doing their jobs. It's just Sarr never tracked Diaz. And he ran straight in the box and he was stood there on his own, basically.
We'll get into the players now. I mean, from where I was sitting, I'm very high up on the East End, 5th floor, but I'm about one block in from the South Stand. So I'm virtually looking parallel with like the two.
Well, that would have been by you then.
Yeah. You know, I mean, the ball comes across. I'm looking across, and I mean, I could be looking at the first third or 2/3 of the penalty area, and it's hard to recall now. And I'm thinking, Dragusin's positioning, which I think is suspect anyway, right? But his positional play, good in the air. I mean, he showed something, but he's another player that this kid needs to develop. I mean, I just think he shouldn't get done in that position. He should know.
He had a man, though. He was marking a man. It was Sarr that never followed Diaz back. It was Sarr's fault, that first goal.
I haven't watched the highlights, so I haven't had time.
No, but this is where I'm on an advantage, Adrian, because Sky broke it down after the game, and they were all saying it was Sarr. He should track back and pick Diaz up, because it's like I said, Gray had a man, and I don't know who they were, but both our central defenders had a man. I don't know where Porro was. He was probably up the other end of the pitch.
I think Porro was at a tapas bar somewhere.
Well, I don't know, but to be honest, Porro was probably stood next to Maddison.
Was Porro even on the pitch?
I don't know.
Let's be serious.
No, I don't know. I don't know. But all I got to say is when they did break that goal down.
I think I saw Porro at the Chip King on the way back. I think
Porro wasn't in that picture that I saw on Sky after the game. So he was probably stood next to Maddison up the other end of the pitch, where he normally is.
I mean, it was like, then we wait 13 minutes for them to score again, and we did look lethargic.
I can tell you who was at fault for this goal as well, because they broke it down. It's like I said, I'm in an advantage here.
Right.
It's about time you were in an advantage, Sheriff. Right. It's about time you were in an advantage. In the know. In the know, Sheriff.
All up here.
Slobozlai got his head on the ball. It pops up, and like McAllister was the first to react and head past Forster. It was a bit of a, I don't know. I'm not saying he didn't deserve a 2-0 lead, but if it pops up and falls to a player or gets the player, I mean, how did you see that goal, Ben? The second one?
I originally thought it was a Fraser Forster mistake, but after watching it back on the highlights, he couldn't have got anywhere near that.
No.
It was all headed across. It was a darting header by McAllister. Again, there's another short person with a free header in the box. No one saving that. It was too close to him. Mm-hmm. It was another precise goal. It was another well worked. It was almost training ground. I think a few people in our WhatsApp group, Mark, said it was like a training exercise.
Yeah.
That's what that reminded me. It was little moves, little darting, little triangles they make. Bang it to him, straight in the back of the net. It was so easy. It was so easy for them to cut us open. It was a hot knife for a bowl of water. There wasn't even any butter. It was just water.
Your take on that goal, Mark?
Right now, again, it's like I said. I watched the Sky breakdown afterwards, and now, if you watch Spence, right, because that goal comes from Liverpool having the ball at the back. It was one of their midfielders passed it back to their right back. With this, Spence is sort of in our half. He runs 40 yards. I think, the ball goes back to Trent, who's their right back, I believe. And Sarr runs 40 yards up the pitch, right, to go try and make a challenge that he's got no hope of, like, getting anywhere near. Trent plays it like past him. Matey flicks it on. Right, and that's where the goal comes from. Spence was at fault for the second goal, because as soon as they were in, the ball goes over. I think the ball comes off of Basuma, pops in the air. McAllister, another small player, straight down, heads it straight in.
Lobasai.
Yeah. But to be honest, there was a group of players there, but it just sort of
they were queuing up.
Yeah, it just pops to McAllister and in it goes, And so I believe I'm talking about the right goal. It's one of the goals anyway. Spence runs up the pitch for 40 yards, trying to close Trent down, that he's got no hope of doing. And again, that comes down to the tactics, I'm afraid. It's Andrew's fault.
Well, we're getting to the players after we've done all the goals and the games as I normally do. You know the way my normal format is. Right, then we get a bit of hope in the 41th minute, Ben. 1-2, Kulusevski wins the ball and gives the ball to Maddison on the edge of the area and scores in the bottom corner. It was a nice finish.
It's Kulusevski. Well, we'll get to Kulusevski, and
yeah, we will.
We all know that the KDL has been carrying Tottenham these last few years. We all deserve our apology forms. The KDL, he was the only hope for Tottenham. Pressed Liverpool, was the only person pressing, really. He won the ball back. It was almost like a 70-20 situation that he should have no hope of winning that ball, but he won it back anyway. And it was a great finish from Maddison. It was a great finish from Maddison, but it was a good goal. A bit of hope. But you sort of think, right, it was almost like when you slap someone in the face and when you were losing a fight, you're like, oh no, now you just pissed them off.
Yeah. Right. Merry Christmas to Rico. They got a good point today against Chelsea. Maybe
Everton,
things are turning a bit for Everton. And the Queen's in the chat.
Yeah.
Miss Ellie.
Hope
you're well, Ellie, or you're getting up. You're getting better.
And she's gone back to Heiberg. She keeps changing her boyfriends. I thought she was a Bentacore.
Oh, yeah, it was, wasn't it? I've only just noticed that.
Yeah. Perhaps she wants to be back.
Bios is the only one that's good enough for you. You don't need to keep switching your boyfriends. Tios is the only one you need. Come back to the light, Ellie. Come back to the light.
Yeah. Nice finish. I'm down the opposite end of the ground, obviously. And I thought, okay, but I want to see. I said, we forced the error. Kulusevski winning the ball, so it was well to win the ball. So you make the breaks. You need to see more of that. I think at times we tend to rely on the opposition making mistakes rather than making things happen for ourselves. So you could say that was a mistake by them. Well, it was. They lost the ball. So I think, okay, 2-1 at half time. Andrew get in and have a chat with them, but it wasn't to be, was it? Because 45 plus 1 minute, Salah plays in Zlobazai for a neat close range finish. I've got to watch all these goals again. I've got to be honest.
Great goal. Great goal.
All their goals. All of them were fantastic, Liverpool's goals.
Tore us apart. It was like they weren't even there. And it's like what I was saying to you in the back row. Again, we just don't care about defending. It was so easy. It was every single one of their goals. And we might as well have not played with a midfield. There was an easy ball in behind. And it was an easy goal. Shambolic defending from our midfielders. If I don't know who's in charge. Basuma and Sarr shouldn't get paid for today's game. They shouldn't get paid. They might they went AWOL. They weren't there. They weren't there.
No. Well, it's like I said, I watched it on Sky and I watched the post-match as well, where they broke it all down. And Liverpool were moaning when Maddison scored because they wanted a foul. But it wasn't a foul. It was just Kulu was too strong for him. Maddison nicked the ball. It was a great finish by Maddison because he used one of the Liverpool defenders, bent it round him, and Alisson had no hope in the goal because he didn't even see it till it was past him.
Mm.
You know, so but then this is what they were saying in the Sky studio. See, you get it back to 2-1, you think, right, game on. Let's just sit in, because that was about when was the Madders goal? 40 minutes.
Well, it's
I know you've moved on. 40 minutes or so.
At 41.
41, yeah. Well, there we go. And so you had basically 5 minutes till half time. In the Sky studio, they were saying, right, just sit in now till half time. You know, get to half time at 2-1. Seems we've been outplayed like the whole half. That's a moral victory, only going in at 2-1. But no, it's the same way of playing, the same high line, the same gung-ho tactics, and we just give them a goal. But it was a good goal. I mean, let's face it, they basically tore us to bits. But they're going to when you play like we do.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if we just sat in for that last 5 minutes of the second half, going at 2-1, all right, we'd have still probably lost, but it gives you more hope for the second half coming up.
Yeah. Anyone in the chat, Mark? You want to?
Yes. Nita's got a question for Ben. Well, and you, Adrian, because you were both there. What was the atmosphere like in the stadium? Was there booing?
It was quite muted, really. I mean, when they were 3-1 up and all that, and especially up to 5-1, there was a change at 5-2 though. When it went to 5-2, like there was sort of that.
It was almost like mocking, though, wasn't it, Adrian? It was almost like mocking. Yay, we've scored! Yay!
I mean, even at 5-2 or 5-3, I can't remember they even saying Postecoglou's name. I just think they were giving support to the team though for having a go. I mean, I knew we were outclassed and like unlikely we're going to get anything from the game, but I thought, well, you know, 5-1 would have been a lot more embarrassing than 6-3. You know what I mean? So it's like
it's the first time we've conceded 6 goals in a game since Christian Gross was the manager. It sums it up. Yeah. It sums it up what I think about this.
I remember Man City putting 6 past us going back.
Not at home though, was it? I don't think they put 6 passes at home.
I think it's when Dzeko was playing for them and going back a bit. It would have been at the old ground.
I don't think it. I think they won 4-1 against us at home. They beat us 6-0 away from home. AVB was the manager.
Right.
It was 4-1 at home. 4-1 at home at the Old Lane. It is the first time we conceded 6 at home in the Premier League. For me, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. You don't concede 6 goals at home.
Yeah. So at 3-1, I'm thinking, all right, all is not lost. If we get if we can get the first goal in the second half, and you knew there was going to be more. I knew there was going to be more goals. I said we're still in this underage ball. You're never out of it. But on the 54th minute, Salah finishes a move off. I can't remember. I didn't get who was involved, and it's
there was a bit of a shambles going on in the box. Yeah. Gray was on the ground trying to kick it away twice.
I feel sorry for Archie Gray.
Yeah.
I feel really sorry for him. I think him and Spence were the two. Amazingly, Forster. The same Forster was a highlight after conceding 6 goals. It's funny, really. If Forster wasn't in goal, we would have conceded 10 today.
Yeah, we would have done.
We would have conceded 10 today.
We're getting to Gray and all that, but without going into majestic, he's just more composed and he's got a better vision on the ball than Dragason's got alongside him. If anything,
I don't think Dragaston was that bad, to be honest, Adrian. I think he had no help next to him. It was so easy to get down that right-hand side because Kulusevski wasn't really tracking back and neither was Porro. So
Porro don't do nothing.
He was in Chit King.
Yeah. Yeah, well, put it this way. At half-time, Adrian, when it was 3-1, I was quite happy because in Jose's online predictions, that's the score I put. So I thought, right, 0-0 second half.
2-1 to Spurs.
0-0 second half. 0-0 second half. And I've got like 3 or 4 points in the bag here. Correct score and all that. But no. Salah.
You don't play that game properly, Mark. The problem you've got to get.
I was top at one stage. I was top at one stage. I was top of the league, Ben. Now my inner Rangers come out and I'm going to be sacked from my own team.
Just don't do a perchy and get rid of your chair.
I'd never do that, mate. I'm far too lazy to stand up.
And then in the sixth, not shortly afterwards, 61 minutes, 5-1, Salah put into score from a gap code.
Yeah.
No. Well, there we go.
Embarrassing.
We all knew it was over then. Well,
Embarrassing.
My mate, who was best man at his wedding, this is when he decided to text me because I think he knew he'd won by then.
Yeah.
And he's a Liverpool fan. And I said, don't worry, mate. I've turned over to I'm watching Songs of Praise or Antiques Roadshow, whatever's on BBC One. That's normally on around that time.
Mark, you listened to the BBC and didn't even listen to my interview on the BBC. How dare you?
I don't watch the news, Ben. I do not watch the news.
Remind me.
If you can get the clip, Ben, just.
I've not even listened to it, to be honest.
No, I have not seen nothing. I'm sure someone will find it and put it in the group.
Was the fifth goal the ball over the top between Dragerson and Gray?
Yeah.
VDV gets that. He wins the foot race. But, I thought this again, positioning again. It's positioning again with the defenders, you know? Gray's like a stopgap there, but Dragerson, he's positioning again at times. Like, I mean, I've seen him have good games in the Euros. I've seen him in one game when he made a mistake in the Euros. And I've seen the same from us. You know, he got sent off against Karabag. He played everyone offside away at Newcastle for a second goal. You know, mind you, there was more people involved in that. You know,
in this system, though, Adrian, the system they play with only two defenders at the back, it's very hard to sort of question them about positioning and that. Well, there's only two of them there anyway, most of the time.
That's not been the case this season, though, because Ben, there's today. We set up, we were like 4-2-3-1.
I did notice that in the first half.
I did notice that. Play, when we get very attacking, we tend to go 4-2-4, right? So I've seen this change, and I've seen it in more than one game now, so they've worked on it. But when your midfielders don't get a grip of the ball, you're not going to win the game. And if the passes go astray, then you're. And there was quite during the game, you'd have seen it, Ben, as well, when Sonny was screaming because the ball weren't given to him properly, or it went past him, it went out of touch. These little dink passes in midfield, which you should make because they're short passes. You know, I see Decky have to, you know, control a ball, hit him like a rocket. You know what I mean? I mean, like. Yeah. This is like we weren't on point. I mean, at all. I mean, I'll pick out Kulusevski. We'll go through that later. Let's move on before we do that, right? Then this happened. I spent it Solanke. Imagine that might work as a pun. Right. Solanke to Kulusevski to fire home from short range. Yeah, he's got good vision, Solanke. He's looking better than me. When I see him score his last goal for us, that was Harry Kane-esque, that goal he scored when he dribbled along the penalty area and scored it. And today, he's finding his goal-scoring touch now, Solanke, but so is Kulu. Kulu's banged a few goals in recently as well.
KDL. KDL.
Yeah.
KDL. What a goal. What a goal. It's a goal that deserves to win a game of football. How good that goal was. Dink ball over the top. Smash it in the top corner.
I was going to say, I'll be honest.
Consolation goal. It's a consolation.
I'll be honest, I didn't realise Solanke had that in his locker to pull out like a lob wedge like that and just chip it over for him like that.
Yeah,
you know, but it was a fantastic goal.
He's even with some of his dribbling and that and his hold-up play, he surprised me, actually. He's. I mean, I didn't see a lot of him last year. I looked at videos when he come, what you got? But now he must have... Has he got 8 or 9 goals? I don't know, in the Cups.
I think it's 9 goals in all competitions.
Yeah.
It's looking as though he's got a bit more about him than I thought he had.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was a striker that could make things happen. I thought it was more of a poacher in the box with decent vision, got a good hard work and all that, but he's shown he's got a bit more to his game.
What his goal was as well was a goal poacher. We'll get to his goal in a minute.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Number one Agambar in the chat.
All right, Chris, Merry Christmas to you and yours.
And
Merry Christmas to all Spurs fans out there.
Yes, and Crocodiles, but not Liverpool fans.
No, okay. All right. It's Christmas and people are probably getting a right. Then we start to get excited because on 83 minutes, Ben, 3-5. Johnson to slank the right arm from close range.
JDL. Johnson Defence League, get out and amazingly, it was a good move from Timo as well. It's good ball over the top from Timo. Ball in from Johnson.
He actually looked sharp when he came on Timo. He's actually looked sharp.
He's looking for a move, Adrian. He's looking for a move in January.
I hope he is, Ben. I hope he is looking for a move, yeah.
He's looking for a move. But he actually looked all right today. He looked all right. It was a great bit of skill from Johnson to head the ball.
Because we were down 3-5, I don't know what it's like at the South Stand so much, but where I'm in the East Stand, where they all sing with the shelf side and all that in that area, like, you know, they're going, all around me going, go on, Timo, take him on. Go on, Timo, burst him. Like, you know, I was laughing, like, I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
No, well, yeah, it's a job to know what was our best goal. It was either the Solanke one or the Kulu, because Solanke's was a brilliant finish. It dropped over his shoulder.
Great finish as well. Another great finish.
Yeah, it dropped.
Madison's goal was good, Mark, as well.
And to be honest, well, yeah, all three of our goals were good, but like, it's just a shame they scored 6. But like, but the Solanke one, you got to remember, it goes over Virgil. It goes over Virgil. It drops over Solanke's shoulder, and so he never saw it till late.
Yeah,
and he just stretched out a foot and buried it. Yeah, buried it. And at 5-3, I thought, can it happen?
It always gives us a bit of hope. Too little, too late.
Can it really happen? I thought, if we get another one now, I'll be immediately on my phone texting my mate.
Yeah.
And then all hope.
Yeah, that was extinguished.
All hope at 3-6. Yeah. If we had ready 85th minute. So
great goal. Great
to
finish.
score in a corner.
Really good finish. Put the ball where no keeper would have saved that.
No.
Great goal.
I mean, Foster's 6'7", and so, or 6'5", whatever he is. And he's what?
The tree.
Yeah, well, he is. And like, to place it in the corner like that was game over then.
Yeah,
I definitely put songs of praise on then.
I don't know if half the Spurs fans, there was no burn. They applauded the team, the Spurs fans, which was, I mean, I did hear all these rumours beforehand about like some Spurs. I don't really mind if we lose to Liverpool because Arsenal and Chelsea can't get to the top of the league, which I always think is sad anyway. But you got to play to win every game. There was that. Did any of you? I haven't had time because it's a great rush to get back from the stadium. Have any of you seen Ange's presser? No,
I don't listen to a word that man says.
Well, to be honest,
I'm going to come across as negative because I am negative, and I'll happily be called negative.
I don't think you're negative. I think you're like me, quite objective.
I hate this style of football. I really dislike this manager. I dislike his tactics. I hate the way we play football. In the words of Gladiator from Ange, are you entertained? No, I wasn't entertained because I don't like conceding 6 goals at home. I hate conceding goals. Even the other night against Man United, you were entertained. We won 4-3. It's an entertaining game of football. No, I wasn't. We conceded 3 goals at home.
I had 3 heart attacks.
Yeah. It's like when
I like it, funny enough. So I'm outnumbered here. I like Ange Ball because I'd like to see. I'm not going to judge him to the end of the season. And
I all I got to say, Adrian, as per usual, I am the best prepped here because I've watched his post-match interviews because they were on Sky. I'm just saying I'm too lazy to go up there and watch the game, but I was sat here in a nice warm room, and I watched his post-match, and they even showed some of his press conference. And all the journalists are asking him about his style and all that. And there's no way he's changing, mate. And I believe it'll be his downfall because we can't keep.
That we wait and see. And I've never been. See, when you follow the team, I come from back in the day when you judged the player after his second season in case they had a good one. Now players are judged after second on the pitch. You know what I mean? So it's like so. Different school, but no, look, people have.
All I got to say, Adrian, in the Sky studio, both. Right, these might not be the most popular. The Scouser that's on there used to play for Liverpool, Carragher, and Jamie Redknapp. They were in the Sky studio, and they both basically tore Ange to bits with his naive lack of defending, his tactics. Because it's like I said to you, what I said to you about like when it was 2-1 and we never saw out till half time at 3-1, I'm only copying what they said in the Sky studio. They said if we just sat in, got to half time, 2-1, come out, spring in our step, right, we were battered in the first half, but to get out of it 2-1, that would have been a result. But no, it was 3-1. It was game over at half time, to be honest, just by the way we play. And as for enjoying the football, mate, I hate it. I hate this style of football.
I like it. I like to see what we could do with a full squad when we don't get crippling injuries and things like that.
But even so, mate,
realistically, only Adrian, we're missing 3 players. Realistically, 4. Teams shouldn't fall apart. We should have a squad that's good enough.
When you lose your 2 best centre backs and your number 1 goalkeeper,
we should have.
Yeah, we should have. No, there's no argument there. I won't defend any offensive. And then you've got Bentancur, who's getting back to his ACL pre-best, and then gets that suspension right. He's back now.
You could also, Adrian, say against Chelsea, Van der Ven was not fit because he didn't play a single minute of football. He plays in a cold night, hasn't played a game, not even been in the squad, gets injured again, same injuries, aggravated that injury. He would have been back tonight. You would have given him
a different injury. It was.
No, Van der Ven's was the same injury. It's the same hamstring injury. Romero's a different injury. Romero is a different injury.
Romero was a quad muscle injury, like.
But with injuries, when your body is weakened and you're looking after another muscle, you can do another one. It's like
the thing behind that and the science team there. I mean, the manager has to be advised unless he asks the player to play with a knock. Now we know that most players are not going to be 100% fit all through the season. They might carry little niggles and all that and play for the team, So this is the one thing we need a lot more clarity about with that science team. Even though they used to sack a lot of them and get a new lot in, because something's not right.
Most of it's outsourced, Adrian. I think 70% of our sports science is outsourced. I don't think we don't do anything in house.
I don't know.
Van der Ven should have been playing today. He should not have. He should not have been playing versus Chelsea. He should have had another couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, he was rushed back, wasn't he?
He was rushed back. He's aggravated the same injury, and he's going to be out for another couple of weeks. He should not have been playing.
Right,
should have been in that team tonight. But
Spud. Oh, sorry, Ben.
No, go for it, Mark.
Nope.
Go for it.
Spud has just put some advantages. It was a difficult day for us, obviously, and a painful result. Credit to Liverpool; they were a great side with in an incredible moment. A bridge too far for us today. We lacked energy and couldn't compete. Well, whose fault's that, mate? It's yours for playing a stupid system and expecting everyone to go a million miles an hour for the whole game, every game. And then there's some more here. If people want me to change my approach, it's not going to change. Well, there we are. It will help us be successful. But what? Getting relegated? Changing won't miraculously make us a different team. It'd make us more solid at the back, though, you foolish man. In the interim, we're going to have to accept there will be challenges along the way. And I think is this another bit? The fans should feel the way they need to about what is happening. They were very good today, and it is a difficult day, but they still supported the players. And they supported you.
Yeah,
they supported you foolishly as well. Who knows, maybe some of them understand the situation we're in, but many don't. And I think this is the last little bit he's put in. I haven't been able to change the team, rest or rotate players. We've just got to push on. But no, to be honest, I see. This is why I don't.
This is why I don't listen to him.
I was forced to today because it was on Sky, right? And there was nothing else on. Songs of Praise had finished, right? But like if you're going at a million miles an hour, what we do, because I believe we run the most or the most distance covered of any team in the Premier League, right? If you're playing like that, of course you're going to get injuries. Like, because it's just a million miles an hour, gung-ho football. No, he needs to change. He needs to change. It's like I said, I hate this system. I absolutely detest it. And if he gets sacked tomorrow, it won't bother me in the slightest.
Yeah, my take's different. I believe he's adapted, but you don't. I do. So we'll leave it there because that's down to perspective. I've seen the changes. I haven't seen two at the back this season at all. Like I say, against the first games away against Leicester and Newcastle, he changed things, right? And like he's even changed the setup, the actual start, the way we start, the way we look, the shape changed. It looks more like a 4-2-3-1. Porro does invert. Didn't see any of that today. See more of him running around like headless chicken. But yeah.
Cheers for the quote, Spud. Anyway,
Jed Spence didn't invert today.
No, he didn't the other day either. He doesn't. He's good. He's got good hold in the ball. He won't boot it in a touch. He's like Romero in that respect. He'll try and make good use of the ball even when he's in an awkward situation.
I'll be honest. Okay. Spence just goes to show when you have a right back that is actually a right back and not a wing back. Because Spence was one of our best players today. In my opinion.
You can argue the fact if you Doggy was fit, you bring your Doggy on the left and put Spence on the right.
Well, exactly. But whatever side, whatever
hindsight though, it's easy to be clever like after that. But we don't know.
Square peg and square holder, Adrian, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I said in the summer the two players I wanted was Eze and a left back. Right now, I actually think a more urgent priority is another left back. We need another left back unless you bring Mason King in. But I mean, like we need or Dante Casanova. We need another left back, right? Urgently in this window. All this talk now is backup goalkeeper and all that. I don't think so. We're going to go with the goalkeepers we've got. They talk about centre backs. All these rumours about centre backs. No, we've got in centre backs when they're fit. We've got 4. What do you have? 6, and we've got 3 kids coming in Phillips, Dorrington, and Vuskovic.
Who I'd bring back? I'd bring back Phillips. I'd bring back Ashley Phillips.
Yeah, fine. And he's 6'4". Dorrington's there. He's fit. 6'3". So if you know we've got enough cover when they're fit, you don't want to blow the squad out again. You want to fix the positions you need, which are another number 9 because Richarlison ain't good enough. But we need just give me a left back. Give me a left back in the transfer window. You know, if we can only afford one, and if we've only got 30 or 40 mil to spend, that's not a problem because you can put 15 mil down on one player, 10 mil down on another 15 mil down. You haven't got to pay it. And if we're over the new rules, because we have spent, I'll bring the money we spent up later. I've got an app for it somewhere, a banner here somewhere. Yeah. I mean, then like, I'll do this later. Just move it down the bottom. Right. But before we do that, let's go through. Hang on. Right. I must have deleted this banner. Right. We're going to go through what we normally go through in pairs, Ben, because it's easier and apart from the goalkeeper, of course. So let me go back to it. Right. So your take on Forster today?
Stopped it being 10. Okay. That's all I can say, really. Made some brilliant saves. None of those goals he could have done anything about.
No. Yeah. Forster, Mark?
Well, as Ben said, it would have been 10. It would have been at least 8. So I mean, Foster's done well when he's come in. All right, he had a bit of a mare.
He had a ruckus against Man United, but I don't blame Foster for that. What happened against Man United? I blame us trying to reinvent the wheel. You don't get a 36-year-old goalkeeper who wasn't, even in his heyday, even in his pomp, he wasn't good playing the ball out the back. He was never that type of goalkeeper. He was always a steady hands, decent shot stopper. That's what Fraser Forster was. 6'7", he's never going to be a quick spring chicken. He's never going to be someone like a Jordan Pickford who's 6'1", but is rapid, quick across the box because he has to be because he's short. Forster was never a good goalkeeper with his feet. He's an old school goalkeeper. It's almost like, of course, I'm not putting him in any way, shape, or form in this bracket. He's more of the Pat Jennings type goalkeeper, just a massive goalkeeper. Except Pat Jennings was a freak because he was not only massive, but he could also pass a football. He was a genius. He was an absolute genius footballer. But he reminds me of that old school goalkeeper, Brad Friedel, Peter Schmeichel, big goalkeeper.
Imposing.
Massive goalkeeper. He's
Mark, you're taking Forster?
Well, it would have been, well, it could have been 8 without Foster. It could have been 7, 8, 9, 10.
That goal, that one over the bar, when he had Salah, it was a brilliant save. He made
one with his hand as well. It was a late long shot. He took, like you said. I disagree with you, Ben, on the Man United game, because the first goal, he's passed it to one of their players and they scored. And the second goal, the ball from Archie Gray back to him, he had so much time to get rid of the ball. So that's fair enough. You've got your perspective. I've got mine.
It was almost in slow motion. Just quick good evening to Lisa.
Yeah, Lisa. Happy Christmas, Lisa.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Great time, you and your family and all your friends. Right. So now we move on to these two. Which one or both of them you can do? There's only 3 guests. You two. So
Gray was fantastic. Gray was fantastic. Yes, you're going to say he conceded 6 goals and it's not going to look good on him. But I was with Graham in the car on the way back, and we were talking about Archie Gray and him not being a second. He looks like a footballer.
Oh, yeah.
He looks like he put him in midfield, and you will see how good a footballer this kid is. He looks like a real good footballer. And this is the reason you get in another centre back, Adrian. So Archie Gray can play in midfield where he's supposed to be playing.
Yeah.
I thought he was brilliant today. I thought he did what the best of what he could have done, and I hopefully he hasn't lost much confidence conceding 6 goals in a game. But he's really, really good. He's really good.
I've actually seen a lot of Dorrington and Ashley Phillips because I watched all the under-21 games last year on Spurs play. I know they're good. Then Dorrington got that bad injury, done his ACL and whatever. He's come back. Both very good on the ball. Both units. Phillips 6'4", Dorrington 6'3". But I've got to tell you, Vuskovic, different kettle of fish. This kid is 17. He's stepped up in every league. When I've gone and watched clips of him, he banged in a few goals. Can play as a 6, right? Another player who looks like he's been put in a greenhouse in a grow bag. Kids, because they're all enormous now. And my only issue with him, my only fear, I don't want him loaned out again. Now, Yang Min Hook is registered in January because he's 18, but Vuskovic is not 18 until the 24th of February. So I'm concerned whether he can be registered and kept and then play once he's 18, or whether he's got to be. I don't know what the rules are. No one's clarified it with me.
You can't register players though, Adrian, unless it's.
Well, he is a club player because he's contracted to us.
He's contracted. Registered as a member of the squad.
I'm yet to be convinced of that.
I don't know the rules, but I think that's the way it works. You can't be registered as a player in the squad unless it's in those 2 windows.
I think he's that good. You bring him in. But if he can't play for us, if he's being brought in, then obviously he stays at Westerlo, with Alfie Devine, Okay, we'll move on. A little bit off track there, but it's all good stuff. Right. So, Mark, you had your say on Dragoson and Gray?
No, but, well, I feel sorry for the pair of them having to play in this stupid system where they're just left exposed all the time. I mean, you could have, think of the 2 best centre-backs you've ever seen in your life. We could have them 2 in their prime in defence, and it wouldn't make no difference.
Oh, it would.
No, it wouldn't. No, because of the stupid system we play and how open we are.
There's a difference between when you critique the system, and I get why you do it, right? That's not an issue, right? And there's a difference with defenders having their IQ and the positional play, to be able to spot danger and good position. They'll always defenders will make mistakes this season. You're always going to concede goals. It's where in the phase of play you want to start blaming people. Most Spurs fans will always blame the player they don't like over someone else, like over a popular player, you know. But you're at the back. I mean, like they're at the back from headers, corners, things like that. That's not the system. That's just poor defending.
Evening, Jose, as well.
Evening, Jose. If you want to come on, Jose. If you want to come on, Mark will send you the link.
Yes, I'm in charge of all of this. If you want the link, Jose, just put yes or no in the chat.
Mm-hmm. Right. Dragerson and Gray. I watched Gray in the Championship. I like this guy. I didn't know. I said to Mark before the season starts, I said, well, he's got to show it in the Premier League, isn't he, what he's done in the Championship. And to me, he's been asked to multitask. He's all bunged up. Okay. He's been asked to multitask. And he's come out, and he made a mistake today, didn't he? Did it lead to one of the goals? I'm trying to think. I'll have to look at the highlights again because there's so much to take in from the game. Yeah.
You've only been in about 10 minutes. No, you must have been in, what, an hour now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dragerson's, he's good in the air. He's not slow. His passing's a bit clunky at times. If he tries to chip a long ball, it usually goes to the opposition. And it's just his like intelligent awareness and positional play. And I just think at 22, he was in a slower league in Italy. He's voted one of the best defenders in the league and all that. It's a slower league though. He's got to step up more. Got sent off against Karabakh, didn't he? You know, he played everyone offside, second goal against Newcastle. It's just his positioning. You know, you could forgive Gray for it. He's not been his position all his time. Like, I think Gray's going to be I think he's already done enough to prove himself to me, right? At this level. We'll move on. Go on. Right, okay. Porro and Spence, Ben.
It's a tale with two people, isn't it? I thought Jed Spence was brilliant today. Or as good as he could have been. Porro was shit. Like, that's the only word. You don't need to say anything more or anything less for Pedro Porro. I thought he was diabolical. I didn't even know there was two players that I didn't even think they were in the stadium today. And that one of them was Sonny. I don't think Sonny was even there. And I don't think Pedro Porro. They were anonymous.
Right, Alan.
I've not been there. I thought they were.
Alan, you want to come on? We'll send you the link. Send him the link. Have you got his link?
Yeah. Do you want me to? Well, if he puts yes in the chat, I'll send him the link.
Do you want to come on, Alan? If I send him, I'll send him that link anyway. Hang on a second.
Just send it to him. Send it to Al. But yeah, I thought Jed Spence was all right. I think he tried.
Here you go, Adrian. Yes. Are you going to sort out, or do you want me to do it?
Let me. I'm on it now.
All right.
I thought Jed Spence really tried hard.
Yeah.
I think Jed Spence has shown hands up a little bit. He's had a couple of chances, and I think he's taken the chance with both of his hands. I think Jed Spence has to play. Out of all the fullbacks we've got at the club, the only one I would play at the moment is Jed Spence. Return of the Jedi. Get his gold.
Like I said,
Return of the Jedi. Get his gold bikini out.
It's like I said, Jed Spence is the only natural fullback we got.
Yeah.
To be honest, because the others are wing backs.
The only one that can play the system, Mark.
Yeah,
exactly. Carrier. He's a good crosser of the ball. He's quick. He knows how to defend. I think he's the only one of our fullbacks that knows how to play this system.
He is the total opposite of Porro. Because Porro is absolutely useless at defending. He doesn't tackle. He's all right going forward, but that's where he was a wing back. And you're sort of charged with that, you know? It's like I said, we got too many square pegs for round holes. If Graham's still in here in the chat.
Alan, I've sent you the link if you aren't already on your way. Porro Spence. I was very critical of Porro when we first got him in, when we played away at Newcastle and Leicester and got hammered in those games. Doesn't look over his shoulder, never stands goal side. All right, he's got pace, fine, as long as you judge it. If you know the player you're up against or on the right, on your side of the pitch. And then there was quite a few times when he would be defending in a penalty area and a cross ball would be hit from there, the opponent's right-hand side, across his head, and someone would get behind him and score. I mean, against the Leicester, when we conceded that goal, you could have blamed Romero, you could have blamed Porro, because those two were there in the penalty area. I mean, it's a question of who you like and don't like, and then blame that player, like. But he was improving defensively, and then it comes back to Horton. We can't have these errors. You know, we can't have error-strewn performances from him. I mean, he's technically superb. Can hit a volley on that, very good. I mean, you either play someone behind him. He's not a winger. Like, could he do a job in midfield? He probably could, actually, in midfield. But you know, we've got enough midfielders. Personally,
Alan, do it.
You know, all right, Al.
Oh,
hey guys.
I'm actually going to say something, because Liverpool have a similar player to Pedro Porro in their team. His opposite number, Trent Alexander-Arnold. One thing I noticed, and I was speaking with my uncle about it, because this is why I think Arne Slot is such a good football manager. He knows what Trent's good at and what he's bad at. The guy that was sitting next to me, never sat next to me before, was complaining, "Oh, Trent can't defend for Toffee. Trent can't do this. Trent can't do that." Well, look what Arne Slot did, because he knows this as well. Gravenberch was basically playing right back. He was playing as an advanced right back. Alexander-Arnold didn't do any defending that game. He didn't need to, because we're shit. He was allowed to full. Gravenberch said, "I'm going to do the defending for you, Trent. You go down that left side. Do what you want." And that is the difference between our manager and their manager. A good manager doesn't blame their tools. They see what tools they have, and you try and get the best out of them.
You adapt to it.
When you've got a right back like Pedro Porro, or wing back like Pedro Porro, who is brilliant at screaming down the wing and whipping balls in, you don't play him in midfield. He's not going to work there. A certain Gareth Southgate thought he could reinvent the wheel by playing Trent Alexander-Arnold in midfield. It didn't work. It doesn't work. Trent Alexander-Arnold is a right wing back. He's a great passer of the ball. So you get him on his bike, get past his wing back, and cross the ball in the box. Pedro Porro would be better if we play him further forward. We've been saying it for ages. He can't defend. He can't defend. I wouldn't say he's as bad as we think he is, but it's not in his game. We've got a wing back playing in midfield, and it doesn't work. It's never worked. It hasn't worked for him. He's not a midfielder. He's not a midfielder. Get him down that wing, same as Udogie. Get them down the wing and get them crossing the ball in the box. That's how we beat Liverpool last year. We completely and utterly forgotten how we beat Liverpool last year. Yes, you can say the sending off was a joke. Yes, both of them were a joke. But how did we beat Liverpool? By getting down their wing backs and crossing the ball into the box. We don't do that. We sort of go back to not crossing the ball. We've got in Solanke someone who loves low crosses in the box. We don't cross to him.
Yeah.
Which is funny, because when we did cross today, we actually got a couple of goals out of it.
Scores a lot with his head as well, Solanke.
He scores a lot with his head, and we don't cross. Then we've got a very good crosser of the ball. We don't use him.
Alan, welcome to the chat.
Hello.
Your take on Porro and Spence today?
Weather report first. Weather report from San Diego first.
It's 21.
Centigrade?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's not going to be Fahrenheit, mate. It's not going to be Fahrenheit in San Diego.
You never know, mate.
Yeah, so even my father, I had my folks down for the holiday, and he was saying, who knows nothing about Spurs, and he pointed at Pedro Porro, and he's like, "That guy's terrible." I just laughed because he said, and conversely, he was saying that Jed Spence, he's like, that kid works really hard. He's working so hard, in fact. I think because Son wasn't really tracking back the way he should. So Spence had a great game. There was one time I saw he head the ball away on a shot on Salah kicks a shot on goal, he heads it away. Salah kicks it again and he boots it away. I mean, he was all over the Salah. I thought that aside from the goals, which I don't blame Jed Spence for, I think Jed Spence did a phenomenal job today. Porro, very poor. His passes were going nowhere. His long balls were going nowhere. He doesn't defend. They were getting so much joy down his side, just like with Man United. Same thing, joy down Porro's side. So yeah, the two of them, they couldn't be more diametrically opposed. They're so far apart, polar opposites today.
Yeah. Now my take. Is that the last to chat, Mark?
Yep.
Yeah. Personally, it wouldn't bother me if we sold Porro, but he's on a long contract, so all these rumours about Real Madrid just rubbish because like they get Trent or Dalot from Man United cheaper. So he's going to stay. It's down to Ange to sort that right-hand side of the pitch because if him and Johnson are playing and you're our opponents, that's where you're going to attack. You're going to attack our right-hand side. So, but they have. We've seen Porro have really good games. Spence just what I've liked about Spence in the last couple of games I've seen because I wanted to know if he could defend, and he can. He can defend. So I'm quite happy with what I've seen of Spence so far. As long as he continues it and doesn't go backwards, I'm quite happy. That's all I can say on that. Let's move on. At the end, we'll go to the stats, which are pretty baffling, to be honest with you. Ben, Saran Basuma.
Anonymous. Anonymous. I thought they were shambolic.
Okay.
Every single time Liverpool went forward, they weren't even there. They might as well have not been there. And I like Sarr. I'm happy to be one of the chief defenders of Sarr because I do
I'm a
like
big Sarr fan as well. So yeah,
I like him. They weren't
Yeah, I
there.
like him.
So a lot of us, we've said, Jed Spence played quite well. Archie Gray played quite well. I think Dragic played quite well by his standards. Not the greatest, but not the worst. Porro was shocking. We've said that. How the hell did we concede 6 goals if our defenders played quite well?
It's that high line.
But firstly, Alan, it's that we play a high line. I've said this. I said it to a load of the people we were talking to about. I said if we play like we did against Man United, Liverpool would cream us.
Yeah,
because they've got 2 much better wingers than Man United do. Man United, we do what we always do as Tottenham. We beat a crap team, which Man United at the moment are a crap team. They got battered by Bournemouth today at home. Got battered by Bournemouth. And we beat a really poor Man City team. They're not good at the moment. They're in total disarray. And we beat Man United and suddenly, all right as rain. We're in California. It's 25 degrees centigrade. Everything is lovely. It's great. They cut through us like they weren't even there. Every time McAllister got the ball, Szoboszlai was screaming past our 2 midfielders. Screaming past them. It was easy. Again, I said it earlier in the show. It was a hot knife through water. It wasn't even hot butter. It was a whisk in water. It was so easy. And this is the problem. And I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. We need a bread and butter footballer. We need an old school, proper midfielder. But the problem is, Ange doesn't play them. He's never played one in his 29-year managerial career. He's never played a defensive midfielder. You cannot do that in the Premier League. Basuma is not a defensive midfielder. He is a box-to-box midfielder that's a good ball carrier. Sarr is not a number 6. He's another one. He is either a ball carrier or he's an energetic player.
Yeah,
It's suicide for not playing a number 6 against Liverpool. It's suicide. No other team I think in world football doesn't play a defensive midfielder. It's become a staple of football, whether you play 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3, 3-5-2, 4-2-3, whatever formation you want to play. Even Ozzy Ardiles had a defensive midfielder and he had half the team up front. You must have that sort of linchpin in your team that's going to soak up the pressure. You've got to have that Scotty Parker, that Victor Wanyama, that Wilson Palacios, that pivot in the team that's going to get the ball forward and it's going to that pressure. Even Ohoibia today would have been nice. Someone that can intercept the ball and turn the ball over. Every time Liverpool got the ball, they looked like they were going to score. And that is embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
No other team plays like this. We're reinventing the wheel. It's crap. Yes, the two on the screen. I've gone on a tangent. I apologise, guys.
That's right. No. That's what you're here for. No, that's fine. That's fine.
These two are Tweedledee and Tweedledum half the time. There's no brain. Basuma has not got a brain as a footballer. Sarr has not got a brain as a footballer. They're both runners. You must have a guy with a brain in that midfield that's going to control the game. And it was easy for Liverpool. It was easy. That's why they put 6 past us.
And it could have been more.
It could have been more.
Oh, yeah.
It probably should have been more.
If it should have. Forster, it would have been 10.
Yeah. Yeah, it's embarrassing. Look, Sarr and Basuma, it's like Ben just said, they just anonymous. Every time Liverpool got the ball and they run at us, there was just nobody there. I don't know where they were. Honestly, it was just too easy for Liverpool. And again, it comes down to this stupid system that the clueless manager insists on playing.
I'm not going to call him clueless. And here's why, Mark. I think he does have a clue, but he's arrogant.
Yeah.
It's worse to be arrogant. We're all clueless. We're all clueless in every part of life. Everyone can be clueless if you don't know what you're doing.
I am regularly.
I think he's arrogant.
Yeah.
I think he's arrogant. You've got one of the best teams in the world coming to your ground that are going to have a lot of the ball and that are going to press us through the midfield with their midfielders they've got in Gravenberch, McAllister and Szoboszlai. You've got to have someone that's going to turn over the ball. You've got to have someone that's going to start. Nope, we play the same way every week. Doesn't matter what team we're playing against. We play the same.
It doesn't matter. It could be Liverpool. It could be Southampton.
He does have a clue. He's just arrogant. I think he's a very arrogant football manager. When it's brilliant, it's amazing. When it's brilliant, but when it doesn't work, it's a disaster.
We look foolish.
Yeah.
Alan, your take on Sarr and Basuma?
Basuma is the Basuma in the trough, where we were just talking about this, in fact, how Basuma is so hot cold. One time, against Man United, he was very good. Today, he was very bad. I expect next game, if he plays, he'll be much better. And I think, I think Sarr didn't, I don't know that I would call him anonymous. He didn't do as much, but I think he was having to make up for the lack of Basuma's effort. He was having to make up because he did some tackling. He kind of got in there. I felt he was the only one really trying in the midfield, because we'll talk about Maddison in a little bit, I guess. But it's tough. Again, my father, who knows nothing about Spurs, at 5-1, he looked at me, he pulls me aside and he goes, "Can you just explain why the defense is so high up the pitch? What's up with that?"
Everyone can see it, Alan.
Everyone can see it. Yeah, you can see. You don't have to know anything about football to know and ask. It's 5-1. Well, they said that he kept saying their front three are so much faster than our back four, and they're getting through us like you said, like a hot knife through butter. And he's like, it doesn't make sense that they would be so high up the pitch. They look exhausted running back, and they really were. They were exhausted because Liverpool is faster, stronger on the ball. And And I think Bissouma didn't help at all. I think Sarr was kind of stuck because Bissouma wasn't there really to support him. And he became like a one-man army in the midfield, and it really didn't help him much.
Yeah, I mean, I like Sarr. Last season, he was by far our best player, and the reason was he played more games when other players were. Bentancur was out injured, Maddison was out injured, and he played more games. And this season, when he's come in, and he came in late, he wasn't given as much game time earlier on, but to me, he stepped up. You don't expect a kid of 22 to be on point all the time. So, and we're not down to the bare bones, we're down to the bone marrow, aren't we, with the squad? Yeah. So we've got to just go with what we've got. It's unfortunate. You don't want to use it as an excuse because you should have a squad, which means that the players you've got should have the quality. You could throw in tiredness. I don't like throwing in excuses. You either won. Liverpool are the better team anyway. We all know that. They deserve to win the game.
Oh, sure.
We've seen, Adrian, sorry to interrupt you.
That's all right.
We've seen worse Spurs teams go against much better opposition and beat them. We didn't try. When you're not as good as another team, you make yourself hard to beat, organised, aggressive. You be there. We sat down and we said, give it to us. We lied down. We said, do what you want. We made it so easy for them. I've seen some of the best teams in the world come to Tottenham with much better teams than us, and we've beaten them. We lost not because the players, well, it's because the players, because they're part of the facet of it. We lost because the way we play football makes it easy for teams that are fast and that are press high against us. The moment they turn the ball over, there's only two at the back.
Yeah.
You have to be organised. You have to know some games we're not as good. Let's be organised. Let's be difficult to beat. Let's be nasty. Every time the ball, every time you don't get a decision, surround the referee. Every time you don't get this, if they get a foul, fall on the floor for a couple of seconds and take the sting out the game. You've got to do these things. But we play like we're on a school playground. You score 6, we'll score 7. That's the way we play football. That's not football. It's not football.
I always compare it to the Poch system. Like when we had Kyle Walker and Rose bombing up the wings, we had Dembele and Wanyama sat there ready to fill in. So if there was any problems at the back, if we lost the ball, Dembele would be there, Wanyama would be there to slot in on the fullback.
Or Mark, what you would do, because we had a left-footed centre back in Vertonghen and a right, they would split and become the fullbacks, and Wanyama would become the centre.
Well, yeah, exactly. There was someone there ready to step in, but with Ange, just all charge up the other end.
I just think it's
a nonsense. It really is rubbish.
Our biggest problem is lack of quality, experience, squad depth. Because even going back to Poch, where he suffered, when he had to rest Rose and Walker, who left in 2017, we were never quite the same. We never had that impetus going forward when we didn't have Rose and Walker in that team. And who did we have as our spare fullbacks, which he used to alternate at times, didn't he?
Trippier was very good for us, though, Adrian. Trippier did do a job.
He was injured.
No, that was the last season when he was rotating with Walken. Well, that's a disaster on Levy that Trippier was injured for 8 months and he was playing with it. We was playing with an injection in his leg for 8 months because we wouldn't sign another right back. But that was when Walker was gone. Walker was gone by that point. But when Trippier would come in for Walker, he did a job. Davis, when he came in for Rose, would do a job. They weren't the worst. I don't want to rewrite history and say they didn't do a job. That's why Ben Davis is still here after 10 years at the football club. He's always done a job for us. He's always been that steady Eddie.
Consistent.
Yeah.
It's always been Mr. Consistent. But the way we defend, we don't defend. We don't care. We do not care about defending. It's not good. Then you have to dip the players out or question their intelligent awareness,
right? Because the responsibility is also on them, right?
Sure.
So Porro should look around him. I mean, when do you ever see him look over his shoulder?
But this is coaching as well, Adrian.
It is. And he said, I know last season, I know I've got to improve my defending. And he got better at times. When we're winning, you don't notice the cracks. And to me, I haven't seen much of a change. If he was sold, it wouldn't bother me. It wouldn't bother me at all bringing another person in, seriously. But we move on to these two guys, Alan, Maddison and Kulusevski.
They both had a goal. So at least they contributed. We don't have, I noticed the Liverpool talking about throwing themselves to the ground. They were throwing themselves to the ground at times while they played, just to break up the play and whatnot. Madison does that. Not a lot of other people do that, but I was a little surprised they took him off when they took him off, because I certainly didn't think he was the worst player on the pitch. Kulusevski is solid. I mean, was it 7-7 now for him? So I'm cheering for him, but I think today was one of his weaker performances.
No, I disagree with you, Alan. No, I know I've got to do this as I've got to do this as one of the founders of the KDL. KDL. I think Kulusevski was the only player that tried today.
Sure.
I think Kulusevski was head and shoulders above every single one of our players, bar Jed Spence. I think Kulusevski, if we're unlucky, Bayern Munich or a big team will come in for Kulusevski this year. I think, and if I was Kulusevski, I'd want to leave as well. Because I've got these idiots all behind me. I'm trying. The goal he scored, that was a phenomenal goal. I think Kulusevski, I think he needs a knighthood after the shift he's put in this year. He's been by far our best player this season, and it's not even close. I think I love Kulusevski. I absolutely love this geezer, and I'm the thing I missed the most about today, because I wasn't at the KDL Christmas party, didn't come back. That was the best day of the year so far. The KDL Christmas party, bring it back.
Bill, what a bottle of wine?
No, bottle of Prosecco.
No, here we go. Yes. Evening, Brian.
Yeah, if you want to say that, yeah. Yeah.
We're talking about Maddison and Kulusevski, Brian. We'll bring you in, yeah? Your take on their performances?
One's fantastic. One's a crybaby bitch that rolls around and hurts his ankle all the time and managed to score a goal today. Well done, James.
One's you've got something to say it, you know what I mean?
Listen, you have no idea the levels of fuming I am today. And it's not even about the pitch. It's not even about the manager. Barely still about the owners. It's these weak, talk the talk, give it large everywhere you go. But when it comes down to it, do nothing fan base. Match day going fan base. Oh, I'll be there. I'm going to do that. I'm going to be there. 200 people. 200 people. Listen, the club is done. Tottenham Hotspur Football Club is, until Levy goes, finished. Finished. When I can tell you that the biggest laugh that we had at the Scotland Yard today is when Timo Werner came on, and every time we touched the ball, we pretended it was a 100-meter race that he was running. It was like, go on, Timo, go on. Didn't care what he did with the ball. That's what it's become. And the international fan base, people that live across this great world, would do more to get over there and bust a gut and protest than the weak, spineless, gutless, toothless, homegoing fans that give it all this. The ones that went, stand up, I salute you. I've been there, done that. You went there, stood there and be counted. But we're all there. Jay's promoting all the time, got onto the press, got into the media, did everything. laid it on a plate for you again because you run your mouths. And then when it came to walking the walk, when it came to be standing up and be counted, you're nowhere to be seen. Don't talk the talk anymore if you're not going to walk the walk, because it's misleading, it's disingenuous, and you're making a mockery of everything we're trying to do. And also, Daniel Levy, you coward. You coward. Didn't want the balloons on the pitch because of the hurty word. Oh, I'm fuming. I'm fuming with this. But it's all right. It'll be accountability. The happy seals will clap everything because the stadium looked magnificent. There was a lovely light show, and there are people in pink hoodies. Woohoo, look at the entertainment. We have people in pink hoodies. Liverpool build glory and build success. We build Squid Games and Netflix. But getting back to it, Maddison shit.
Yeah, my take on Maddison and Kulusevski. Kulusevski's my favourite player at the club, has been, even though he didn't have the best season last year. When everyone expected him, when he came in January, they expect him they wanted to see a repeat performance of that season, that half of the season when he got 8 goals and assists, and we got Champions League football. But he's grown in stature to me, Kulusevski. Phenomenal player. There isn't a team out there, Barcelona, anyone that would want him the way he can play. Maddison, another frustrating player. What did he say in a quote a while back? Tottenham are a better team when I'm in it. They're not. They're just not. I mean, he's a wonderful footballer, but is he just a flat track bully when times are going well? Well, you know he's never going to dig you out of a hole. So unless you play to suit him like we did back in the days with Hoddle and had people around him, which in today's game, everyone has to work, don't they, on the pitch? You can't have people carrying you. You've got to have 11 players out that do a job. And he's just not consistent enough. All right, he scored. Can we forgive him because we're playing, a quality, a class team today, and lots of others didn't perform as well? Well, I think he's another one you'd have to judge at the end of the season, like Basuma. I mean, to me, it wouldn't bother me if Basuma went. I would still hang on to Maddison, though. But it wouldn't bother me if Basuma
None
went.
of the goals are his fault, though. None of the problems on the football pitch was Maddison.
No.
Realistically, none of it was his fault.
Yeah.
I'm fed up complaining about it. It's the way we play football.
Just what you're here for.
The way we play
you're here
football.
to give you a perspective, I just like...
I know my perspective is the negative perspective, and people don't like hearing the negative perspective.
I wouldn't say you're negative.
I'm certainly negative. I'm saying I'm negative. The way we play football is idiotic. It's idiotic the way we play football. And it's awful. The boys up front, there's no other team in football in Premier League history, by the way. There's no other team. Where are we in the table? We're 10th?
11th. No
other team.
We're top. At least we're top. We're top of the
Liverpool.
bottom half. Celebrate.
No other team in Premier League history is in the bottom half of the table with a plus 15 goal difference. It's never happened before.
No.
We score goals. The problem with this football team isn't that we score goals. We score goals, and we score goals for fun. The problem is we're so open at the back. Anytime a team goes through our midfield, it's a goal. All you've got, Liverpool did it every single time. They hit every single one of our fullbacks. Get the ball, cross it over to the other fullback because there's nothing in behind. Every single time. Every single time. We don't learn our lessons. We don't learn our lesson. Every time we do it. It's a broken record. Every single goal is almost the same goal. Over to the left, put it over to the right. It's a goal.
Alan, we'll move on. Son and Solanke. Then we're going to...
I think Solanke...
I'll around all of you on this.
Yeah, I think Solanke had a good game. I mean, he worked so hard. Again, I think if we had a stronger team, he would be putting up more and better numbers than he is. And with a weakened team, he's still doing very well, in my opinion. Son had some opportunities. He didn't get them. He didn't take them. They did a lot of passing in the final third in the box, and we just kept yelling, "Shoot, shoot, shoot!" and no one would shoot the ball. I don't know what they were waiting for. So it was kind of a weak performance from Son. Solanke, I think, did what Solanke does, but it's tough to really stand out when the rest of the team is kind of shit in the bed. So that's kind of. I mean, they had a fine game. It's just look, we scored 3 goals on an average day. That would have been enough to win a game. And putting 3 past Liverpool is not easy, but it certainly doesn't excuse the 6 that we let in.
Brian, Son, Solanke.
I love Solanke. I love him. I think he's brilliant. But this is what this great fan base does. Just imagine this. Up until the Manchester United game beforehand, Dominic Solanke doesn't score enough goals. Hold up play, wonderful, but he's got to score. He's got to score. Scored 3 goals in 2 games. But I've seen people, but his hold up play was off today. I'm like, well, wait a minute. What do you want from this man? I think Solanke, again, he needs quality to it. And if we got a quality winger, if we actually spent money on an established winger that regularly delivers him great service, I think we'd be laughing with him. And Son, I thought we were talking about people that were on the pitch.
Son was also in Chit King. Son was in Chit King with Pedro Porro. They were both there. I think Pedro had a chicken burger with fries, and I think Son had 3 pieces and chips.
What are we doing here?
So we should.
Mate, what did Son do?
No. Synonymous.
Mate, what did he do? What did he do? Probably got overexcited from Spurs for creating the word Olympico for a goal from a corner. Olympico. Sonny did absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. But you know what? Sonny, bless him, for his whole career, apart from last season, had quality around him. Quality behind him. Quality. Genuine quality behind him. And obviously the great man in front of him. Well, he's got nothing now. He's got Solanke, which I'm very, very pro Solanke. What's he to do? He can't last 90 minutes. He can't play 2 games a week, but we'll overplay him and undervalue him like we do on the pitch. Definitely not off the pitch. We'd never undervalue him off the pitch. Solanke, great. I didn't know someone was playing. I actually cannot remember a single thing Son did.
No.
Not what?
No.
I cannot remember a single thing Human Son did. Oh, he led the team out.
Yeah.
He did well there.
He led the team out twice.
I don't know if you saw it on camera. Ben was there. There was a few times Son looked well frustrated. He threw his arms up in the air a couple of times when balls would get to him and all that. But I don't know if you see that on the TV because we see the whole pitch. So he obviously
wasn't a captain, now is it, Adrian? He needs to be a captain.
Well, we could go.
The thing is, Adrian, we'll get to this. But my dad and my uncle noticed it, and I saw a bit of it. When Sonny went off, they wanted to give the captain's armband to Fraser Forster because he was the only person of a senior standpoint. Fraser Forster refused the armband. No one wants to be the captain of this team because they know they're sinking. No one wants to be the captain of this team.
Who got the armband in the end? I thought Forster took it, but I'm right at the other end of the pitch, so I thought Forster.
I didn't see that, but Forster really didn't want the arm. But no one wants to put their name to this team because it isn't a team. It's not a team. Forster. It reminds me a long time ago. I don't know who told the story. I think Thierry Henry told the story. Arsenal won a game 5-1, I believe. They absolutely battered a team, but in the last stages of the game, they conceded a goal. And Jens Lehmann went to the dressing room and he smashed up the dressing room. And all the Arsenal players were like, why are you smashing up the dressing room? We've won 5-1. He said, yeah, you won 5-1. I conceded a goal. There's no pride in this team. I don't blame.
That was Henri on the Sunny documentary.
Yeah, that was the one. That was the one.
Right. Let's move on to this. Any you can all this is for all of you. Any substitutes catch your eye today?
I thought Bergvall was okay.
Bergvall.
Yeah.
He was okay.
He got his standard yellow card. He got his standard yellow card though.
Yeah, I'll do the yellow card.
Stood tall again. The JDL.
Yeah. Obviously Brennan was fantastic, man of the match.
Yeah.
I got an assist, Johnson, though.
Brennan Johnson got an assist. He came on.
No.
He affected the game in
JDL. JDL
and the JDL stand all together.
Yeah.
They're going to be drinking IPAs and we're going to be drinking lagers because we're a brotherhood. Nothing else really happened in the game. I thought Bergvall was okay. I still think he's got a stupid tackle in him. He was lucky to not get sent off, actually. Because he was very lucky to not get sent off because he did a petulant tackle when he was already on a yellow card. On another day,
it was a pullback. It was a pullback.
Yeah, on another day, we were a couple of people in the chat were complaining about the ref. They're lucky the ref didn't see that because
he did because Liverpool they were questioning it on the Sky commentary, and who's the bloke who's in the Sky, the ex-referee,
Howard Webb,
Howard Webb, David,
Not David Webb. He played with Chelsea.
No, Howard Webb. No. It's the ex-referee the ex-referee that Sky bring in for like refereeing decisions and whatever. And he said, look, it could have been a yellow card, and he was already on a yellow card. But he said, in the spirit of the game, he said, Liverpool have won. He said, I can understand the ref never gave it. He said, if it had been like 3-3 or something at that stage.
I think he felt sorry for us that we
didn't
see.
He said that Liverpool have obviously won the game, and so he let it go. But he said officially that is another yellow because he'd already got a yellow for a silly tackle, and then it was a blatant pullback to stop one of the Liverpool players progressing up the pitch, and that's a yellow card all day, every day.
I definitely think we were definitely going to see a lot more of Gray and Bergvall. I mean, like where they finally end up.
It's not what we needed in the summer, though. This is why I was against it in the summer. Yes, they're going to be fantastic players. Yes, they're going to be fantastic players, but they don't improve us immediately.
No. But yeah, they're not oven ready. We only brought in one experienced player and spent 100 million on Odegaard, Bergvall, and Gray, Yang Min Hook, who's at the club now. Some stats. This is where stats can be deceiving. We had 52% possession to their 48%. If you're at the ground, there's no way you believe that because they were so much better with the ball, weren't they? Ben? There was so much.
God.
They were a fantastic football side. They were fantastic.
Well, they schooled us, basically.
5 minutes into the game, you could see, they're good. They're a bit good, aren't they? The way they controlled the ball. It was like when Chelsea came to the ground a couple of weeks ago. Every time a player received the ball, they were in acres of space. There was always an angle to pass the ball. There was always that little. They were so good. They were so much better than us.
Yeah. Well, they schooled us. Even a manager schooled us because his comments, like the pre-match thing, and he was praising Ange, and he was praising Ange and all this. You know why he was doing it? Because he wanted us to play exactly the way we did. Because he knew that they just cut us to pieces, which they did.
Yeah.
But that's why he said those things about Ange.
Yeah. He battered him up.
Yeah, of course he did.
He battered him up.
We had 5 shots on target to their 12. They scored 50% of their shots on target. So did we, actually, with 5. But
they had 20-odd attempts on our goal, Adrian.
They weren't on target, though, weren't they?
Well, no, I'm just saying, because after the game, Sky put these categories up. Now, I wish I should Google it, really, and see what categories they were. Tottenham are 20th. 20 teams we're last in a lot of them. It's like
I've got the stats. If you want me to read them out, I've got the stats here.
Yeah, I mean they had 24
touches in our box. Touches in our box was one.
But
touches in our box was one. Expected goals against us, we're last in the table for that. It was all these things about defending and that we are literally last.
Ben, just before you read the stats, I just want to I'm sure people were aware that when Liverpool went 4-1 up, they went down 2 gears.
Yeah.
And they didn't even say, right, let's keep going. They're like, we're 4-1 up, the game's done.
Yeah.
And still were playing us off the park.
Yeah.
In second year.
Yeah.
And the only time we showed a bit more energy when it went to 5-2, before it went to 5-3. I mean, that was the first time I seen me spark. The last 25 minutes, we were okay in that game. That included the 5 minutes.
Well, they've given up by then, Adrian.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I mean, you could look at it 2 ways, can't you? I mean, they took the foot off, but it didn't stop them scoring a 6th, though, Mark, did it? So I don't see how they took the foot off.
But here are the stats. Here are the stats for Tottenham in December, which sent to me from Paddy. So thank you, Paddy, for sending me the stats. Goals conceded. We conceded 12.
This is it.
We are the worst team in the league for goals conceded this month. Shots faced in December, 85, which is the worst in the league. Shots on target faced, 37, which is the worst in the league.
Yeah.
Expected goals against, 13.5, 20th in the league. And big chances faced, 25, which is 20th in the league.
Wow.
This is what I saw. This is what I saw early.
This is the first team that's beaten us by more than 1 goal this season. Liverpool.
That doesn't matter, Adrian. We've lost 8 games and it's not even Christmas.
No, I know, but that's December. But then you've got to take you take all the stats at the end of the season. They're the stats I'll look at. The ones for where we finish, whether we win anything because we're in 3 cups. Then I'll take those stats. I get that December's been crap, right? I get that. I'm not arguing against it. Yeah, so that's basically. I just want to go on the yellow card watch, guys. Bergvall picked up one, didn't he? He was the only booking. But Bentancur, we don't want him getting a booking Boxing Day, right?
Oh, you know he's getting a booking Boxing Day.
He can't play Boxing Day. He can't play Boxing Day. He can play Wolves.
Forest.
Oh, mate, do you know what? I don't care. I don't care.
I agree with you.
Now. This was the last game today, Brian. Unless I stand corrected. All right. Right, okay. So that's that. The way the yellow card system works, 5 yellow cards in 19 games of the season results in 1-man ban. If you get 10 yellow cards before game 32, that results in a 2-match ban. You could have a 2-match ban with 6 games to go, whether you're in cup competitions or finals or whatever. We know this, don't we, that Maddison and Sarr are banned for the Carabao Cup first leg, having received 2 yellow cards. The rule states, this is a bollocks rule, 2 yellow cards throughout the competition result in a 1-match ban. I mean, it's ridiculous. Only 6 games to win a fucking thing. You know what I mean?
It's the same as the World Cup, mate. You get 2 yellow cards, you're suspended.
Yeah.
Injury-wise and suspensions, 9. Vicara, Odebert, Davis, Richarlison, Moore, VDV, Romero, Udogie. He didn't play it today. I still think he was carrying a lot. Suspended Bentancur. Well, that goes now. We're not down to bare bones. We are down to the bone marrow. Right. There's a couple of things before we move on. December fixtures. We've had the Liverpool. We've only got Forest away Sunday and Wolves.
Yeah.
Yep.
January. This is congested without the first Carabao Cup fixture in there, which has got to go in there and they haven't give us a date for it, probably for TV and all that. The second one is in a week beginning the 3rd of February. So that's the second leg. Going to be good to play Liverpool twice, isn't it? Right. So we got Tamworth on the 12th, 12:30 kickoff in the Cup. Yeah. And like say Hoffenheim.
I'm looking at coming back for January the 26th. On a long weekend, just so I can go and lend Jay and the people that will walk the walk my support.
I was there, Aki.
I know, brother. Never in doubt with you. Never in doubt with you. I would have been there today, but trying to get last-minute flights on the long weekend before Christmas, last minute, funnily enough, the airlines wanted quite a bit of money. But my aim is Leicester or a February game before I come back for April to come literally fly in on a Saturday, turn up to the game Saturday or Sunday, fly out the Monday. And I'm prepared to do it because I will walk the walk.
Right. This will be an interesting subject for all of you. On the transfers. This is transfer market, right? And last season, under Ange, we spent 272.10 mil, and we sold though 120.7. That would have been the chain money and all that. So we had a net spend of 150.4 mil. This season we've started. We've spent 93.5. So the total net spend has been 244.9. If you add the total spend up, it's 420 odd mil. We've probably spent 1.1 billion on players since the stadium opened.
Good for them.
Good for them.
And look, we had Rodent, we had Ndombele, we had Lo Celso.
That is 30 odd players, though, isn't it, Adrian?
You know, I mean, all these players that were a huge success for us, yeah. I mean, so what are you guys expecting in January? Nothing? Loans to buy? Loans?
Bingo.
I'm sorry, Adrian. I don't know if this is actually some kind of Christmas party joke.
Is this one of your Christmas crackers?
I don't. First of all, I will say you did the fixtures. I expect 2 defeats for the rest of 2024. We're not beating Forest. New manageable bounce Wolves. Not beating Wolves. We're not getting we're not getting 3 points. I can't say it's getting 3 points. I would barely agree that we could get 2. And then when it comes to January, I can't even say the month without laughing. Yeah. It's tough to get players out, although Man U will flex their pecs to sort Amarin out. Man City will flex their, but Man City have the money, and we'll try and do something, but the players won't come. But at least we tried. Then we'll throw the youngsters in, and it's don't worry. We're planning now for January. For the summer. We're planning, and yeah. January, not at.
I mean,
like I said, I don't care anymore. I don't care. I do not care. I have no faith or trust in my football club. In anything. I'm going to go back to bringing the line that Ben knows I used it all the while. The only person who speaks the truth at Tottenham Hotspur regularly, constantly, and never lies is Paul Coyte, who reads the team sheet out. Because he can't lie. That's the only time the truth is guaranteed out of this football club. Mm-hmm. And I don't care. I don't care.
Alan, your hopes for the transfer?
As you said, Aki, this club is dead. This club is dead. Dead in the water.
Until someone comes and gives it mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, this football club is dead. Finished. Kaput.
We have had good January transfer windows before. It's when we got Bentancur, Kulusevski. So there is Jelly out.
Maybe just put up. It was good because obviously what they brought, but it was a fucking horrific window because that only got done on the very, very, very last day.
Yeah,
that's true too.
We got Dan Juma and Matt Jansen in January now. I think we got Matt Jansen.
No. Dan Juma came because the Poro deal looked like it was going to die, and Daniel Levy couldn't have a window where we didn't go anyone, so he went and hijacked Everton for Dan Juma because he went round like a fucking hyena going through the desert looking for scraps. So he pulled out Dan Juma. But sorry, like you were saying, don't get wrong. Bentancur and Kulusevski, great signings.
So Alan,
the radar at the beginning before
the only reason they signed Bentancur and Kulusevski was to shut us up.
Mm-hmm.
They shut us up.
Paratici got to do it.
Alan.
Yeah, and we had Paratici. Yeah.
I mean, how many players do you think we're getting in, whether it's a loan to buy, or actually putting down payments down on players? Because if you had 30 million, you could put 15 million down on 2 players. If you're worried of like infringing the rules, I don't know if there's any latitude now with the crossover from FFP, PSR to SCR, which is squad cost ratio, the new rules. I don't know if there's any leeway in there, whether you're allowed to carry any money over you may not have spent or whatever. I'm not, I need to ask Sean Butler or hear what Kieran Maguire's got to say about this.
December, Jan.
So, how many do you think we're getting? What positions do you want? What positions do you want? I know what I want.
I want a left back. Mm-hmm. I want a backup. I want a backup goalie. What else do I ask Santa for? Asking Santa for maybe another center back as well, so that we could move Archie Gray out of center back and not have to have him play there. I don't think it's not really fair to the kid. He's not a center back. But yeah, as far as Potato saying, definitely some experience. I think that's what I want more than anything. I want players with experience, Premier League experience, and not youth. We don't need more youth. That's really all I hope for.
There's one left back I would take.
I know who we're going to sign. I know who we're going to sign, guys.
Go on.
I know. I've done a lot of ITK work. I've scoured the internet. I've asked all my contacts.
Mm-hmm.
Spurs will sign a Netflix deal in January for a right to serve WWE in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, because WWE is coming to Netflix on January the 6th, and the first one is actually in California, so you can watch from January the 6th. You can watch WWE Raw every Monday.
I don't know. Have you seen this partnership? I don't know if you saw this. I was in the club shop today. You go to buy a Spurs Christmas hat with Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Written on it. So get your Coca-Cola. Yay! You can see it there. Your Coca-Cola. I'm trying to get it where the light is. But let's see if I go this way.
Right. So
is it Diet Coca-Cola?
There you go. Your nice Coca-Cola Tottenham Hotspur. That's what you wanted. Have some red on your Christmas hat, because Coca-Cola will give Spurs some money when it's got.
I'm not interested. It's not Diet Coca-Cola.
You want 3 players, Alan?
Actually, it is, Mark. Actually, it is Diet, because what colour is the Diet Coke letter in?
There we go.
Red. You're the problem, Mark. Flip flop. Happy clapper.
Sorry. Anyway, what I see.
So you want 3 players? Can we get back on track, guys? Yeah. Right, please, bit of respect.
What can I have my say?
On what?
Pass me over again. This transfer.
I was on Alan. I hadn't finished with Alan, Mark.
Oh, all right.
Alan.
I would love. I saw his name. I would love Anthony Robinson. At left back. I think he is a future real great. He stands out as an American, also as someone that normally is. I would say is exceeding the average. He's a really good left back. Where's he on? Fulham right now, I think. Right, he's at Fulham. He did well against us. I just don't think Destiny is the right. He hadn't been playing well. I'm glad that we have Jed Spence. Jed Spence, for the most part, could do the job, I think, but someone like Anthony Robinson, I would grab up in a heartbeat, start right away. I want to.
Fulham are above us. Fulham are above us.
Oh no, you're not wrong. But we have European football.
Not for long.
Right, guys, I need to go. I've just got a call coming in. I need to go. Everyone, if I don't speak to you before, very, very happy holiday season. Celebrating whatever you do. Have a great time with your family and everyone in the chat.
Have a good Christmas,
always. Levy out.
Yeah,
boys, I've got to go as well, unfortunately, as well. I've got to go and speak with a girlfriend. But
I was going to say you're late night, Ben. It's late night, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and I'm going to be in trouble. But I'm always in trouble. So,
well, to be honest, you've already sent her the apology form.
Yeah, I have. I did send her the apology
Before
form.
we carry on, would like to thank everyone who's been in the chat today. I know it's Christmas and you're all busy getting drunk like you should, and thank all those that stay with us for this length of time as well. We always season's greetings from Spurs Diehards to every Spurs fan out there, obviously. But we have got a show going out Tuesday, which is Christmas Eve, the same time, 8:00. It will be probably a brief preview of the next game against Forest, isn't it? Boxing Day.
Yeah.
And then we'll just do it'll be a fans forum. So any of you that are in the chat that got any questions, me and Mark are here. Anyone is there, and we might even be sober, right? So
no,
come bring your questions, and we do our best. We've got Nige coming on, another guy. Don't know if someone else can come on. We might just throw the link out there and let everyone on. So and we'll do that. So that's that on that. So back to the now. Alan, you wanted about free, and I think you're being a greedy bastard, thinking we're going to get free players.
Heaven forbid. But we need. I want a backup goalie. I want to. I don't think Fraser Forster is good for our overall health. In goal, long term.
Hopefully, end of February. We don't know. It could be longer. Don't know.
Yeah. And look, Fraser, taking out how he's been playing at the moment, he's a 36-year-old goalie who I think is at the end of his career. Just like with Son, I'm very pro getting people in who can get some influence from these players. Get someone in to replace Son, who will be the replacement for. So maybe that's Yang Min Hyuk. Maybe that is the position he's going to be playing.
He can play left or right side on the wing.
So maybe we've done that. I'm not sure. I haven't seen him yet, just from his highlights. But Fraser Forster is not someone we should be depending on for long term. A game here, a game there. But at his age, I would hope that we'd have someone that can really break out and really give Vicario a run for his money. And that's kind of what I'm hoping for as well. Because I think some of the goals today that Forster gave up, they kicked it right under him. I mean, he couldn't even get down fast enough. And he made some good saves. Without a doubt, he made some good saves. But I think that a better goalie blocked some of these shots that came in. Not to mention the performance against Manchester United. And then, so goalie, left back, center back. I think we need another center back. I'm not sold on Dragishin. Ben Davies is also someone getting towards the end of his career, if not this year, maybe next year. But we need someone else to kind of come in, maybe in their mid-20s, someone with experience, someone that can do the job, is more comfortable on the ball than Dragishin is, because Dragishin today was not comfortable on the ball. Someone that can kind of step up and push maybe Romero to be or VDV for their role. I don't think Dragishin is enough of a challenge for them. I think we need someone that can truly challenge those two, because it'll just make our defense better.
Mark, what's your hopes in this winter? How many players do you think we'll get in?
Well, to be honest, it will be what usually happens. It'll be in every transfer window, there is what I call a bingo going on with the words that come out, linked with, interested in, pursuing. There's more words than that, but it's like a bingo card. And if you fill up, to be honest, what do you expect this club to do? A couple more youngsters? Because it's the way it is. We built a £1 billion stadium that we were blatantly lied to by the owner. Right, was going to be the game changer, and when it's up and going, Because let's face it, the stadium is a cash machine. That's all it's there for. That's all it's there for. Football now, football to the owners of this football club is a byproduct. It's a byproduct. That stadium is an entertainment arena. And it's an entertainment arena that a game of football goes on there once every fortnight, you know, or a couple of times a fortnight, whenever there's a game there, basically, you know, and, you know, because the way that the infrastructure we got there now, there's no excuse whatsoever why we can't be challenging at the top end of the table for the title I'm on about. No excuse whatsoever. If we had an owner that was actually interested in winning stuff, you know, because I've put it in all the groups, Adrian. I put it in the admin group as well on this channel. Right, for winning the FA Cup, you get £2 million. £2 million. Right, we make more than that. We make 6 million a game at the stadium without all the rest of the events that go on there. That's all you get for winning the FA Cup. 2 million.
We make £1 million in beer and pies.
Well, exactly. Right. £2 million for winning the FA Cup. For the Carabao Cup, is less than £1 million. Do you think Daniel's interested in that? No. Fourth is Daniel's trophy. If we can get fourth place and start creaming in the Champions League money, where he can charge you £80 on top of your bloody season ticket to go to a Champions League game instead of what you're paying at the moment, 35 for the Europa ones, extra on top of your season ticket. I think that's what you said, £30.
Yeah, well, if you progress, it'll probably go up anyway.
Well, yeah, but no. But all I'm saying is, if we got on the Champions League, you double that or probably triple it. You know, if we got I don't know, Real Madrid at home or something, you know, that's going to be £80 a ticket on top of your season ticket, right? And so in the January transfer window, we all know what we want. We want a left back. We want a proper winger. We want a proper winger that can stick the ball in. Head height as well, because Solanke scores a lot of goals with his head. Or he did. Right? And we want a number 6. Number 6 would be the first one I get. Someone who can sit in front and protect our two defenders. Even make it 3 when we're getting broke on all the time.
Yeah.
Right? No, hang on, I ain't finished. But we all know it's not going to happen. We all know it's not going to happen because of the way the football clubs run. And that basically is profit over glory every time. And for only 160 to 200 people turning up at the protest today, it's like Brian said, there's a lot of people on the internet. I'll be there. I never said I was going because I knew I couldn't go. But if I lived anywhere near London, damn right I'd have gone. Even if I had a ticket for the game, I'd still rock up at the stadium and protest. You know?
With me, Alan wants a centre-back. I don't see that happening, not with us, with the 3 youngsters coming through it. And Ben Davis and the others, they'll be back in the new year anyway, VDV and Romero. So, and you've got Dragerson. So with Ben Davis, you've got 4. And then we've got 3 coming through in Phillips. So I don't think, it's unlikely we'll go for a centre-back. The goalkeeping situation, I don't see us going for a goalkeeper even, not until the summer with me. They should be going for a left back. That should be the main priority. The number 6 situation, for me, left back should be the priority. And I would take that young kid Dorgo because he just looks so good. But then there are other left backs out there. I'm not sure we're going to spend 60 million bringing in a Robinson from Fulham. That's probably what they want. I mean, I can see us putting down payments on players. We could go for loans and loans. I like the loans to buy deal because if the player's no good, you ship them back, but they're becoming less frequent now, right? So obviously for me, Richarlison's made of glass. So I think there's more chance we will go for a striker rather than a number 6 because we've got 7 midfielders with Decky. And if you're going to bring a midfielder in, you've got to ship one out, which in my book would be Basuma. But I just don't see that happening to the summer. I think we'll go with the midfielders we've got. It might be, this might not be a welcome news to people listening, but it doesn't mean to sound right. I think we'll go for a left back because none have been mentioned. In all the media BS which comes around now with the transfer rumour mill, They're talking about every man and his dog linked with Spurs, and we're not in for them. I mean, like, you've got to wait until you get some tier 1 media outlets come out and actually say, and then it might still not happen, that, we've agreed terms with the player, or we've spoken with the agent, or now we're talking to the club, the selling club. And it's difficult because if you're a selling club in Europe and you're involved in relegation battles, you're not getting rid of any of your players. If you're a team that's going to win stuff or in a chance of winning stuff, you're not selling any of your players. The only chance you've got of someone selling your players, unless they're really desperate, is if they've got 3 players in that position and you want one of them. That's the way I see it. With other clubs, we know there are clubs out there that are desperate for money that want to sell. Maybe they'll sell anyway. I mean, we've got no idea what's in the transfer budget. I think as Ryan alluded to and all that, I mean, I don't think that much will happen. If we get 2 players in, I don't think it'd be more than that, unless somehow you can get a loan and all that in or whatever. Just don't see it happening. But look, I want a left back minimum. If we get a number 9, we've been linked. All this talk about us being linked with Jonathan David, and then the rumour comes out of the club. We're not interested, basically, because he doesn't suit Ange Ball. He's more of a fast, nippy, wide come central striker, isn't he, Alan? I mean, you've seen more of him than I have, right?
Yeah.
But he's not that sort. And then we get linked with this and linked with that. Now, when we get linked with a midfielder defence like the Feyenoord captain or things like that, that's interesting. But whether there's any truth in it, we won't be spending big. I mean, like, unless it's a down payment on a player, we won't be spending big, because I'm not sure how much we can actually spend. Now we spent that 93.55 million this season. If we were spending on 120 million average a season since the stadium opens, that does leave you with like 25 mil or whatever. But the 25 mil can go a long way to 12.5 down payments on players if you're not great. I don't know the rules affect us. I don't know, and trying to find that out is difficult. I don't know the rules affect us. I don't know what we can spend. So if you're waiting for this year's accounts to be done in April, then by the time those accounts are submitted, you'd have a fair idea. But next year's spend, in theory, would be less under the rules, because that 549 million, that's in the season when we got Champions League football, because your accounts are a year behind. So I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't try and mislead anyone and say we can do this or do that. It's just going to be wait and see. And just hope that it's been, look, they should, if that recruitment team ain't been working hard behind the scenes for a left back, there's something seriously wrong, The left back should be the first position. Yeah. I mean, beginning of the season, we're all thinking, when everyone was fit, Davis could cover at left back behind. Yeah, that's okay. That's sorted. That's 2 for that position. He can also cover at centre back, blah, blah, blah. I mean, if he comes fit again, well, they're still going to have to get a left back in, as far as I'm concerned. I'd like a number 6 and a number 9. That's about it. Will it happen?
No.
Doubt we'll get 3 in. I can see us getting 2 in, but we're not going to. If you're talking about a good striker, we just know we're not going to go out and spend another 65 million on a striker, even if that money is amortized over 5 years. It's just not happening. Not in this. I can see us getting a left back, because we might pick up someone who does a good job in another club. That they're not the most prices of transfers. Robertson would be, because he's proven Premiership.
Yeah.
And midfielder number 6 is, look, there's a glut of holding midfielder players out there. None of them get mentioned, because it's not, unless you're Rodri, it's not a sexy position in the team. Unsung hero, is it? It's not. There'll be lots of them out there. How good they are, who knows? But then Ange did say he could possibly see Bergvall in that position, because Basuma's not. We've got all 8s and 10s. All our midfielders are really 8. Decky's a hybrid 8-10, and Maddison's a 10, and the rest are all 8s. So, and the pivot of Sarr and Basuma has worked, but then it hasn't worked. Basuma's not consistent enough for me.
Yeah,
I'd get
I
rid
agree.
of him. At this stage, if you ask me, unless he smashes it second half of the season, I'd get rid of him. Maddison, I'd keep, just for that quality he does bring you in games, as a squad player, but he's not like I'm a big I should be starting every game. He hasn't got the consistency to prove that. He'd just be selective for games, and if he plays well, he get picked. Anyway, I'm wandering off on a tangent here.
Yeah.
So unless you guys have got anything, I'll meet you in the back room and have a beer.
Right. I'll just bring this up. If you haven't already, please,
Ben, everyone.
Please sub to Ben. Please sub to Ben, because he should be on a few thousand subs now, and he really isn't. So if any of you haven't, please sub to Ben.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great chill out place. It's a great chill out place every day. There is some football mention, but it's just a place to go and chill out every afternoon at 2:00. British time, that is.
Right. We'll end the show now. I want like to say season's greetings to every Spurs fan out there. If you like subscribe to the channel, give them a thumbs up and leave a comment, because it helps the algorithm. We are going out Christmas Eve at 8:00 as normal. We know there are fans out there who probably live on their own, and like we're there for that as well. And like I say, we'll do a preview of our next game, and we'll take it. It won't be too heavy. It'll be like we'll take all questions from the chat channel. And we'll probably throw the link out.
Yeah. I was going to say the link will probably get put in the chat at some stage if you want to come.
And then, like, if anyone's available, because it is Christmas Eve, and you really shouldn't be on our show. You should be out there getting legged, right? So
I will be.
Yeah. So I'll see you guys in the back room, and I'll play you guys out with this.